All right, welcome back. This is part 3 of lesson 7. So now we're going to do some more examples. I'm going to do this one last example, and then you guys are going to be on your own. So here we have all these unknown angles. The only angle we know is up here. This is 70 degrees. Well, if this is 70 degrees, then we know this angle across is also 70 degrees. And again, since this must be 180, we know that this is going to be 110. Therefore, this is 110. But now we're not dealing with any transversal or parallel lines until we get down here. However, we can see here we have a triangle. We can see these two angles are the same measurement. And again, when we add them to this, they have to add up to 180 degrees. So we know that the measure of these two angles adds up to 110. So that makes each of these 55 degrees, which means then these angles are 125. And now we can use the rule of transversals. You can see this is a transversal going through these three parallel lines. So we know that this is going to be, angle M is going to be 55 degrees. Angle K is going to be 55 degrees. Therefore, angle F is going to be 125. Angle H is going to be 125. As we go down, we also know, based on the rules of transversals, we know across here, angle E is going to be 55, angle N is going to be 125, angle L is going to be 125, G is going to be 55, I is going to be 55, J is going to be 125. We can do the same thing throughout here. We know Z is going to be 55, O going to be 125. We know P is going to be 55, Y 125, X 55, Q 55, W 125, R, since it's across, 125, V 55. Okay? We know all of these things just based on those measurements. And then down here we have a couple of unknowns, but we know this is 80 degrees. So that makes this 100, which means T across from it is 100, and across from it, this S is also going to be 80. Okay? So that is the end of this lesson, but what I want you to do before you come to class, you've got puzzle 3 and puzzle 4 on the back. I've given you some measurements. Based on those measurements and the rules of corresponding angles, alternating interior angles and alternating exterior angles, you should be able to go through and find all the angle measurements. So do that for your homework. Come in on Monday with these angle measurements figured out. Figure out what each of these angles that are labeled, A through Z, or whatever letters I've gone through. Figure out what those angle measurements should be, and do both of the puzzles, and we'll compare the answers on Monday.